Welcome back to Age of Mythology Retold. Yes, that's right, the new DLC has just released. Immortal Pillars has released across all platforms, and now Age of Mythology Retold is now available on the PlayStation 5 as well as PC and, of course, Xbox as well. So there's more players than ever playing this game right now. But what did the DLC and what did the latest update actually bring? They're the things that we're going to be talking about here today in this video. And of course, as ever, if you want anything to do with Age of Mythology Retold, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, that way you don't miss out on more videos just like this. Now, of course, the first change within this new DLC, Immortal Pillars, of course, is the new Chinese culture that we get to play as. There are 3 playable gods, each having unique paths as you go through. It's a really interesting culture, actually. We have actually had a chance to, dive in, play around, have a couple of games, and it plays rather interesting, especially the way that they gather faith. Now, we are going to do full breakdown videos for exactly how to best play each of the gods, as far as I can see at the moment, with limited play testing, of course. But yeah, they're a really, really interesting culture, and one that I think is going to shape up the meta quite a bit. It's going to be interesting to see just how well it kind of holds up against everything. As you can see on the screen right now, we've got one of the biggest kind of magic attacks that we can get, and with this culture is that wave that just decimates buildings. It doesn't do anything to infantry, but absolutely decimates buildings. Now, included within that DLC, we did get 12 new gods. Of course, that's going to be the different age lines as well as we progress through a campaign or a skirmish. We got 9. That's 9 campaign levels. That's a pretty decent number. The campaigns are normally really enjoyable. I think that Age of Mythology Retold does a really good job with the campaign, so it's nice to see that we've got 9 brand new levels included. Of course, there are a slew of mythical units that's been added to help support this brand new culture, and there's also been 7 new maps to kind of explore. These are based on iconic Chinese landscapes, which is really interesting. One thing I did notice as I was playing out is that I did have like little pandas just like running around my towns, which I thought was pretty cool. And of course, as we already mentioned, Age of Mythology Retold is now available on the PlayStation 5. I think this is massive news. Not only has the fan base or the player base for this game now massively increased, it means that hopefully, the game will keep going multiplayer wise, because we're going to have that much bigger player basis. If anyone is looking for a multiplayer game at all, I love multiplayer games. We do also have a active and growing Discord. You can find a Discord down below in the description of the video if you want to join us for a game. Maybe there's some other players that want that fancy a game as well. It'd be great to have more of the community involved in a Discord and having some games shooting off. There's also been a brand new game mode added. It's called Daily Celestial Challenge, and it's kind of a bit like a basic skirmish, although they've added a few twists and changes to the map. So it's kind of like a daily challenge. Can you complete it? It's going to be interesting to see just, how refreshed they managed to keep that up and how fresh it feels after, say, a week, 2 weeks, or a month down the line. Hey, any kind of new game mode I am all up for, because after all, that is more content for us, the player bases, to be able to play. And of course, along with any update within Age of Mythology, they have made a number of stability and performance fixes. Hopefully they have fixed some rather serious issues with the game. I personally sometimes play on my Xbox Series S, and that has a really nasty habit of overheating quite drastically when I play Age of Mythology multiplayer wise. Of course, those games can be rather lengthy, so maybe it performs a little bit better on the S now. Let's have fingers crossed, and I'll keep you guys updated. We also had a number of balance changes, both with gods and units. Now, this time around, it was rather minor. A few of the features that come out were really, really small. So, again, I didn't really feature them here in this video. I will include the link for the full patch notes down in the description of the video as well. For anyone that wants to dive through all that information, it will be there for you. Honestly, I'm excited for this DLC. I've been waiting pretty much since release for it. I have to believe the Chinese were actually in the original Age of Mythology. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone. So it was nice to see them kind of finally added in. I hope they do add more heroes and more cultures over time. But as far as I can tell, there's nothing planned, unfortunately. So this may be the full roster of the game, which is a little bit sad if that is the case. However, first impressions, first glances of the new heroes and gods that we get to use, it looks pretty awesome. I honestly think that it's going to change up the meta slightly. It's going to be interesting to see just, who leans towards who again. There's also a brand new mythical dragon that you can summon in, and I think that's rather exciting, but that's kind of going to be to see which one is better. Obviously, we already have a mythical dragon that we can summon in that belonging to the Norse. So it's going to be interesting to see just, which one is stronger in battle. And as I said, when it comes to faith with the Chinese, the more land that they own, the more coverage they have with land. As you can see, I'm putting down houses and they've got like a external circular ring. Well, that counts as extra land that is blessed or owned by me. That's going to generate more faith. Which I think is a really interesting way of playing. It's going to be interesting to see just how well that plays, because I tend to like doing, nice, tight-knit communities, but of course with the Chinese, it's going to be a completely different play style. So it's going to be interesting to see just how well that mirrors off against, for instance, the Atlanteans, who are quite strong defensively and quite nasty if you have to face them too early in the game as well. I do also like how when you very first start, you do have, a regular peasant, but then you also have a special unit that is very fast at putting up buildings, for instance, and very good at chopping down wood as well. So it's going to be interesting to see, if he warrants the extra resources that it's going to cost in order to make them. I also quite like the ability to summon a terracotta army. I think that the Egyptians are able to summon mercenaries from their town centers. So it's a very similar mechanic to that. How well it will actually do against propelling an early attack or not is going to be interesting to see. But there we have it, guys. That is everything I've got for you in this video. Let me know down in the comments what you think. If you've had a chance to play the brand new DLC, let us know if you think it's worth picking up. But until next time, I've been a monk, we've been a Critically Curious, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy, and of course, as ever, guys, happy gaming.